Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. No, this, yeah. NBCYA. Well, I said that I only watched the mainstream media the last 4 years or so because sometimes they do have an honest article about something that happened. So, if 20 people are shot down dead or whatever, usually it's an honest report because how can you lie about that? But the anti-Trump stuff is pure propaganda by the Democrat state-controlled media, the old legacy media. So through all the lies and the gaslighting by NBC, ABC, Dishonesty News Network, CBS, and CNN and MSNBC, on the nightly news sometimes, or the world news, as it's called on ABC Dishonesty Network, you can't deny that 30 people just got blown up or something. I guess you could, but, that would destroy the credibility of your network really fast. So they have to have some honest stories. They just have to continue to operate. Otherwise, everybody would tune out for good. They'd boycott all their stations. They would lose tremendous revenue. They're already failing the old legacy corporate media because people online, media organizations, are telling the truth. And so, or at least a raw truth, So, it's really cold today. It's cold and rainy. I don't know if I'll walk by the breezy side. I think I'm gonna stay in the neighborhood. So it's cold and rainy with a wind chill. I should have brought a jacket, but I have an undershirt and then an overshirt, and then I have my beanie on, so that's it works okay for now. So I was tuning in at first just at 5:30 to see what their 30-minute news programs were, because sometimes there is a story that's true, occasionally. All right, most of it is anti-Republican, anti-Trump smears, and that's the propaganda, the lies, and the gaslighting part. All right. Like, here's the gaslight. Here's lying by NBC, ABC, and CBS, and MSNBC and CNN. Here's proof of lies. Okay, so everybody could smell that it was really, it was total bullshit, horseshit, when they said the election was going to be close. It's close. It's neck and neck between Harris and Donald Trump. It was not fucking close at all. It was a fucking badass blowout. Trump won the popular vote and blew out the Electoral College. What was it? 312 to 2 or whatever it was. Was it 300 something to 226? It was a big time fucking blowout. But, the legacy lying media, the gaslighted Joe Biden, Bidenflation media wanted to lie to the public and say that it was going to be close. It's neck and neck. And that could be for ratings because, if you think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to decimate their rivals in the Super Bowl, then you might tune out, I guess. They might lose ad revenue. They might lose, viewer revenue, right? So maybe they wanted to lie to the American public and say that the 2024 election was close between Harris and Trump, when it was, anybody with half a brain knew that it was not going to be anywhere close. It was not even, it might be close. The only place it was really close is in liberal cities and states where Trump almost won. So that's where it was close, but not in the general sense of the entire United States of America. Yeah. You know it. So if that lie, that bullshit, shouldn't disqualify the entire mainstream corporate, state-run Democrat, state-run media propaganda complex, I don't know what will. So I don't watch CBS, ABC, or NBC very much, except for that 30-minute propaganda piece they do every night, every day, almost. Well, yeah, it's 7 days a week. It's cold, raining with a wind chill. It's kind of cool, but I dressed up enough, so I could go get a hoodie, but it would limit I would just be sweating and more. If I work up a sweat, I'll just be sweating more. And it's not raining that hard. It's like just a light drizzly. No big deal. There's not many people out because it is miserable. Yeah. But I'm a rain or shine kind of exercise type of dude most of the time. Unless it's a hurricane or, well, we went out during the hurricane, didn't we? After it was done, though. Maybe, is it raining too much? Let's see. Want to get on a hoodie, Don? Get on my hoodie. In the neighborhoodie. Okay. Get it on. All right, it's starting to rain harder. Uh-oh. So we're going to adapt. We're going to get an umbrella and a hoodie. We're going to fortify our defensive positions against this rapidly changing environment situation. It is murky, huh? It is like miserable out here. It's funny. I'm slightly amused at the level of mire. Ho, 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 ho. Ooh, ooh. So we got the hoodie and the neighbor hoodie. Neighbor hoodie. Yeah. Is it still too light or you want to go? Yeah. It's getting a little bit heavier than. Oh. Singing in the rain, smoking on a Jane. It's going. Yeah, I used to know a Kelly, and then he would watch Singing in the Rain, and then did he watch it because his name was Kelly? He was like, look, there's a Kelly singing and dancing. It wasn't the same Kelly. The Kelly, was it, his name was Kelley, and the Kelly, I believe, in the movies was Kelly, I think. So, was it Gene Kelly? Yeah. Singing in the rain. Yeah, that was a good one, huh? Life is but a pain. What a marvelous feeling. I'm happy again. Yeah, that was a classic. Nice one. Do they make really good musicals these days? I don't know. I didn't watch Wicked. I'm not really into that shit, so. Da, da. Yeah. Yeah. Do I like Wheeler stuff just because it's Wheeler? Do I watch Stranger Things because the guy's called Mike Wheeler? My mom's cousin is called Mike Wheeler. No. I don't really watch stuff because it's more Wheeler. I mean, it's cool if it's Wheeler, if there's more Wheelers out there, I guess. But there's a lot of Irish and English Wheelers out there, so. It's a gigantic tribe. So that encompasses a big tribe, right? So, yeah. I don't always get hyped. I don't watch Wheeler stuff specifically because it's Wheeler. My father's side of the family is called Stanley, so I don't listen to Kiss more because there's Paul Stanley, or I don't go bank at J.P. Morgan Stanley Chase because it has the word Stanley in it. I don't buy Stanley cups or Stanley whatever. Yeah, I don't, it's just a name, I guess. What's in a name? Yeah. Maybe I would pay attention more if it was like Scott Rockefeller or something like that, right? Yeah, maybe you'd investigate your family name a little bit more. Yeah, dig a little deeper, huh? Yeah, so NBCYA. Yeah. So I wanted to tell Lester Dolt of NBC Nightly News that, well, his name is... I know when Trump unfortunately lost in 2020 because of election stealing and rigging and media, big tech collusion and the Chinese plague and all that shit. Well, was kind of lost my train of thought because oh man, yeah. All right, did the rains die down? Let's see here. Maybe I'll keep it up just in case it ramps up again. Yeah, Lester Dolt and the liberal news media would call Donald Trump the former President Donald Trump. So they at least call him former president. But this thing of calling the 45th president of the United States and the president-elect, soon about to be 47th president of the United States, the idea you call him Mr. Trump, as if he is just some regular Joe, like the commander-in-chief of the United States military armed forces is just some rando guy walking down the street. Hey, it's just Mr. Johnson. Hey, it's just Mr. Williams. The idea, the concept that the liberal leftist media would perpetrate this bullshit, Lester Holt and company, is complete dishonesty and garbage. Now, the man was elected president by 76 million plus people. Now, give him the fucking respect that he deserves. And he worked for that. That the American people have granted him this title of leader. And so I guess, all I can do is just boycott NBC and ABC and CNN and MSNBC and CBS until they fucking get it right. Get it fucking right. His name is President Donald John Trump of the United States of America, Commander-in-Chief. He is not just some fucking guy. All right? He is not just Mr. Trump. All right? Fucking, pull a Jesus, Ahab, Christ on that. Man, no wonder the legacy news media is fucking dying, because it's fucking lying all the time. And there's alternative media sources. Okay. Well, had to let that off. That'd have been, that kind of technicality may seem trivial to some, but it's not trivial. It's a targeted slander of a former and future president by the liberal Democrat-run state propaganda media. And most American citizens will not tolerate this blasphemy anymore. This attack on the legitimacy of a former and future president is dishonest, it's evil, it's intolerable. It will not be tolerated. And so if the Democrats want to keep the Senate, if they want to have any power at all in the future, they better be careful. If they want any power in the U.S. government in the future. They better be careful with their lies, because the American people are going to throw them out on their all-powerful ass. And the masters of the universe will become the slaves, the new slaves. Yeah. So the only thing people in the future, after Lester Holt and his ilk are all passed away, the only thing that future historians are going to wonder, they're going to know the reason why, but someone might be surfing the internet and watching an old clip of Lester Holt after he's long since passed on NBC Nightly News, and they might say, why is this guy calling the sitting president Mr. Trump? Yeah, he's a man. I know his name is Mr., but his full name is President Trump. Will Lester Holt be young enough to be on the broadcast news in the next 4 years? Will Jimmy Kimmel of ABC Dishonesty News, will he still be around to say former President Trump after the 2028 election? I don't know. But these guys don't have to hail to the chief, but it would be nice. Did the rain stop? Kind of, sort of. Yeah. Maybe the leftist media, they call President Biden Mr. Biden sometimes, because that's a male designation, perhaps. Informally. Yeah, but probably not as much as they do Trump, because they want to delegitimize his power, his victories. But trying to, the biggest job that the leftists and liberals have, the Democrat Party have, and their historians who write about the 2020s, the biggest job they'll have to face is painting Biden-Harris in a positive light. When it was a disastrous, ruinous administration, and the Democrat Party rule was a miserable and awful one for the U.S. Military, borders, crime, safety, defense, and the start of at least 2 new wars, a disastrous botched pullout of Afghanistan, et cetera, et cetera. So the biggest job the liberals and the leftists will have to do is to paint a corrupt and incompetent and senile, lying, hiding, plagiarizing old bastard as somebody who was great for America. That would be their biggest challenge. And they will fail to meet that challenge, to paint the Biden-Harris administration in a positive light, unless they lie. Do we have a Frisbee over here? Oh. I don't know what that is, dude. Something from the Playland or some shit. The daycare facility. Oh. Something from Playland. Playland. Yeah. Yeah, it's the 83rd anniversary of Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. The dastardly attack by the Japanese Empire on American forces in the Hawaiian Islands. Yeah. Whew. My friend Jeff, he was an extra in Pearl Harbor But it's kind of funny because there's like so many extras. It's hard to. There's so many people in that movie. It's almost impossible to try to find him in all that. I wonder if he knows the exact frame where he was in. I wonder if he can even find himself. But that movie blows ass. Such a fucking stupid movie. Oh man. Yeah, I prefer the historical account to that bullshit Ben Affleck movie. Oh well. I guess it was a successful summer blockbuster, you know. Even though it's probably not very historically accurate at all. So that's why I respect Saving Private Ryan a lot more, because it's more historically accurate. That's probably why more veterans went to that of World War II. Yeah. Yeah. NBCYA. Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess the funniest part of all this is that you have a man with obvious dementia not running this country, Joseph R. Biden. And one of the funniest things is that, well, that's a scary thing to have a man who's senile and dementia-ridden with the nuclear codes. Actually, that's frightening as hell. The funny part I find is that he's trying to pardon all his criminal friends besides his son, but he doesn't have a mind to do so. So he has less than 2 months. I find that part amusing, that the guy is fading away, and then he probably can't even keep up who to even pardon his criminal buddies and associates for all his criminal business dealings over the years. So that's kind of funny. A president without a mind, who usually would be able to protect all his criminal buddies, and then he'd usually try to get a get out of jail free card for everybody that was associated with the Trump prosecutions. Jack Smith, Fannie Willis, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, etc., for these illegal and unconstitutional witch hunts against Trump. But it's kind of it's sort of funny to watch before Trump takes power and the Republicans on January 20th, 2025. It's kind of amusing to think about how much he can actually pardon in that limited amount of time when his mind is clearly not together, when it's clearly falling apart, his cognitive faculties. So I think that's the amusing, like a corrupt, bitter old bastard trying to scramble to pardon his criminal friends when sometimes he doesn't even know where he is or who he is or what he's doing. It's sort of like a tragic, dark comedy, really. Yeah, I think Biden will be infamous like Richard Milhouse Nixon. He'll be up there in the worst of the presidents. And I think movies about Joe Biden will be dark and about his corruption and his thuggery. I do not believe they will make positive movies about Joe Biden. I think they'll all be dark and Nixonian. There'll be sagas about persecuting Trump and persecuting political enemies. Yeah, I think it'll be some pretty dark-ass but accurate cinema. And they'll show Hunter Biden, I don't know, with 3 Russian hookers snorting coke off their butt cracks and smoking crack rock and with a shirt off and shit. And it might be a really entertaining movie, you know. Daddy, help me. I'm butt naked in jail in the Ukraine. Daddy, bail me out. It might be really funny, right? At some points. It's going to be mostly dark and disturbing, but the future films about the Bidens, and they might just call it Biden or the Bidens, right? The Biden crime family or something like that. So their legacy will be that of infamy, just like the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor is a day that will live in infamy. As said by then President FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. But out of all this dark and murky 4 years, maybe the clouds, maybe they show a bit of light and the sun will shine through again. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, mother comes in today after taking care of our grandmother, Ida Lou Cersei. They had at the Senior Center last night in Mount Ida, Arkansas, they had a 1950s sock hop night. And so they had greasers and 1950s, the older ladies dressing up in 1950s outfits. And Granny got dressed up like, she was born in 1939. So by the 50s, how old was she? I guess she was coming of age in the 1950s, like Joe Biden. Well, actually, Joe Biden's younger. About born in 1944 during World War II. So my grandma was born in Oklahoma when Hitler was first taking power in Europe. So, and the first colored movie came out. First color movie, Wizard of Oz, 1939. So my grandmother was, by the time 1950 rolled around, 11 years old. Oh yeah. So, you know, she was bebopping to the, not just old country music, but she was also listening to the new rock and roll. Yeah. Of the time, enjoying the post-war American period. And that precipitated what would become my parents, the baby boomers. The big baby boom generation. when those World War II babies had children of their own, got married and got educations and employments and bought houses and got married and had families of their own. The big baby boom. Yeah. The good times in America, right? The good old days. The golden era, whatever you want to call it. So that's nice that Grandma gets to have her. They have themed dances at the retirement home. Yeah, maybe if I make it to my elderly years, maybe they'll have like 1980s night or something like that when I reach the retirement, the old age phase, the end, if I live that long. You know, you don't know if World War III with China is around the corner or whatever. So, or the next plague or drone attack or cyber attack, or, you know, the world is very uncertain. So you never know when the next shit's gonna hit the fan. So we can't guarantee our life expectancy in this country or around the world anymore. Not with any assuredness, definitivity, if you want to call it that. But that's just fun to say, definitivity. Yeah. My grandma cannot dance herself and bebop to her old teenage tunes from the 1950s because she can't boogie like my grandfather, McNeil Wheeler Jr., U.S. Army soldier who died, but because she had 2 strokes, so she can't boogie anymore. Oh well. Well, it's up to her grandchildren to keep on the legacy of boogieing and music. It's up to us now, for better or worse. Hopefully not for the worst, but this world isn't guaranteed to get better and better. So there's no guarantees in life. Except for, what, death and taxes? Death, corruption, and taxes? Fuckery, tomfoolery, deception. Those are the only guarantees. But I'm glad that Grandma gets to bebop and rock and roll, even from her wheelchair. So Mother returns tonight. And anyways, will I have me some brewski, some beer? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what the vibe is tonight. Da, da, da. Didn't see if I won some lottery this Thursday, if I still have the luck of the Irish, or if the luck of the Irish is vanishing. Is the luck of the Irish a myth, or is it real? We shall see. I want to believe in pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. I want to believe in my lucky charms. I want to believe in the luck of the Irish. So, maybe not for Joe Biden, but for other people of Irish ancestry and Irish people and diaspora. Sorry. Diaspora is the proper way to say it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so William Shakespeare says, to beer or not to beer? That is the question which preoccupies our existence. So we'll see if we beer tonight or we do not beer. We haven't had a beer in 8 days, however. So I may save it all for Christmas. I don't know. Oh. May just overdose at Christmas. Give it up for Lent. My friends are also cynical, refuse to keep the faith. We all enjoy the madness cause we know we're gonna fade away. We got stars directing our fates, and we're praying it's not too late. Millennium, and we don't stop. That's Robbie Williams. Yeah, Millennium. Part of the sample of the music is from Nancy Sinatra and from the James Bond movie You Only Live Twice. Maybe we'll wrap it up because yeah, I've done excellent walking and finished up the subject matter. So God bless, best of success, have a wonderful weekend in the winter wonderland.